We're happy to have you. I'm Dr. Jim.
And I'm Dr. Janine.
We're going to be talking about something that'll probably interest you, especially if you've had a little problem with weight.
A lot of people might not realize this, but we're going to be talking about what you can do for a yeast overgrowth to actually help jumpstart that weight loss.
The thing about Candida, a lot of people say, well, do I have Candida? Yeah, you've got if you're alive, you've got Candida in your gut. It's just part of the normal microbiome. But when it gets overgrown, when we don't have enough of the beneficial guys that want to keep the yeast under control, that's when it gets out of control. That's when we start having the problems. And that's what we're going to be talking about today. So stick with us.
First of all, what is the biggest cause for a yeast overgrowth?
Antibiotics.
Overuse of antibiotics. I mean, it kills off all your good bacteria.
Right.
And one of the jobs of your good bacteria is to keep down yeast. So they kind of compete.
One of the issues that we see there is, and I'll have people talk, and it's pretty obvious when you're sitting there talking to this person, yeah, they got a yeast problem. And they'll tell you, well, I haven't had an antibiotic in 2 years. Okay. Do you eat packaged processed food? I just eat regular diet, whatever, Okay, you're getting antibiotics because a lot of your food out there, the cattle that they feed at the feedlots, they just pour them full of antibiotics. So they have to. They're standing in manure up to their knees, okay? Mm-hmm. So they have to have a lot of antibiotics. Same thing with poultry and so on. So you get a lot of antibiotics in the food that you don't even realize. Now you say, oh, that's just a trace. FDA tells us, oh, it's not anything to worry about. It's just a trace. Don't worry about it. Yeah, well, okay, but if you consume that daily, now it's a problem.
Right. And other things, for yeast overgrowth is overeating sugar. We know that most Americans do. So eating a lot of sugar makes a big difference on who has yeast problems. Some of the symptoms of yeast, other than weight gain, because weight gain is one of the symptoms, is just people being fatigued and brain fog. And one of the things I ask people, when you're sitting there going over and, you're trying to figure out what's wrong with them, I always ask them, do you have any rash anywhere on your body, especially women, like under the breast, where the panty lines go? And they're like, oh yeah, I've always had that. Well, that's yeast. And that is an overgrowth. You shouldn't have that on the outside.
Yeah, it's pretty bad when it comes to the outside. Actually.
Exactly. When it comes to the outside, you have it really bad. Diabetics are really big on having this because they have a lot of sugar in their body. Right. And sugar feeds yeast. To actually help with yeast problems, we have a 3-prong approach to helping yeast.
Right.
1, change your diet.
Right.
And it is getting off of sugar and carbohydrates. And a yeast diet is one of the strictest diets out there because if you really want to starve that yeast to death, you got to really get off of it.
And the other thing that goes along with that is a lot of good probiotics.
Yes. Oh, definitely.
Huge.
You have to replace your probiotics. We do a minimum of 50 billion. A lot of times we'll go to 100 billion or even more on people that have a Candida overgrowth. So you got to stop feeding it. You got to give it the probiotics to keep it from keeping overgrowing. And then you got to kill it. And there's a lot of different things we use to kill it.
We actually have a formula that we put together some years ago, really, that's called antifungal essentials. AF essentials are really good for killing that yeast, getting that process started. That coupled with the diet, and we've seen some dramatic results.
And it also has things in it, not just to kill yeast, but to help the biofilm.
Right. The biofilm is something that the yeast grows to protect itself. It kind of hides under this biofilm. It's like a tent. Think of it as a tent. The yeast just says, okay, we're going to set up housekeeping here. We'll put a tent over ourselves and won't let anything in.
Right. So it makes it harder for the body to kill. Another thing that we use for killing yeast, and it is really beneficial, it's called Alamax Pro. It is a very, very, very strong active ingredient of garlic.
Yes.
Now, it is not really garlic anymore because it is just allicin. Most garlic products on the market have like 5, maybe 10 milligrams of allicin in them. This is 450 milligrams of allicin per capsule.
It is strong.
I mean, it is strong. And we have seen yeast that was very, very resistant, and this helps it. It is not the cheapest product in the world, but I have a lot of people that buy it because it works.
Yes.
So it does work. You can always start with Alamax Pro. It's really good at actually helping yeast.
Yeah, we typically start with the simple stuff and then work up, but that is a good start.
And then there's other things. Oregano does help with yeast. Our olive leaf extract, there is some of it in the AF Essentials. And then colloidal silver. So colloidal silver definitely is one of the things that can help.
Yeah.
The good thing about yeast is you can help it. It is not quick. It does not go away in a week or two. Your rash the outside appearance may go away, but if you stop doing what you're doing to control it, it will come right back. It might take 6 months to get rid of it. So that's what we wanted to tell people. But when you start having people that are resistant in weight loss and they have the symptoms of yeast, start doing things for yeast. Do the yeast cleanse, change your diet, do your probiotics, and I think you will definitely see that you will start having a reduction in weight.
I think it was yesterday. Talked to a lady that I've been dealing with her now for probably, this is about the second month. She started, weight's an issue, and she talked about that, but then she started having the skin rashes. So that was more of a concern to her really than the weight was, and because nothing seemed to help. She'd been to a dermatologist, they put some creams on it, didn't help. So I've been talking to her, I said, okay, let's try something for a yeast thing. And we did this Alamax Pro, back to that guy. That's the only thing. I said, let's just start there. You got some pretty serious stuff going on. She's been on it about less than 2 months. I think it's a month and a half, about something like that. And the rash is much better. It's not completely gone yet, but it is much better. So it's a lot improved. And her weight, even though she really hasn't, she changed her diet based on, she wasn't that bad on it, but we changed her diet around a little bit. She's lost about 15 pounds in a month and a half.
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty doggone good. And, of course, she says, okay, can I stay on this the rest of my life? I said, hopefully you don't have to, okay, but
Right.
you could.
But actually, we both take it.
We do. It's good for blood pressure too. So
it's good for blood pressure, and it keeps you from getting sick.
Yes.
People that take the Alamax Pro say, man, I never get sick anymore.
Right.
Because it's an antibacterial, antiviral, antifungal. It's kind of a catch-all, and it's a very strong one.
Yes.
And it will thin your blood some. So you got to be careful if you're on blood thinners, but it will thin a little bit. But it really, really has some good benefits.
It certainly does.
We sell a lot of our AF essentials as well, but probiotics is a necessity at the same time.
Right. So it's like you said, it's three-pronged. We have to look at all those factors. The diet, we have to look at something to kill the yeast. We have to look at the probiotics as something to prevent it from growing back.
Right.
That's a big issue right there. And if you do that, you should be okay. So if you got something out of this video, if you kind of liked it, hit that like button down there. And be sure, if you haven't already, subscribe. So you'll see, the videos as they come up, because we put stuff out all the time. Thank you again for joining us today. Hopefully you got something out of it, and we'll see you on the next one.